designing for Roben-Marie today, and I am so excited to be here and to be creating with Roben-Marie's great products. And today my wish for you is that you will be inspired to make some time to create and to just play. And I know we get busy in our lives and we say, oh, I don't have time to create art, but I think it's so important to make time, whether it's daily for a few minutes or a little bit longer, weekly or monthly. I think it's just important to put it on your calendar, schedule some art time and some creative play time, and really stick to it. It makes you slow down and it just kind of gets you out of the everyday hustle and bustle. So I encourage you to make the time to play. And one of the great things about Roben-Marie's products is they make it easy to play and create. They're a great jumping off point to get you started. So it really doesn't take a whole lot of time, and they're just fun to play with. And so I want to go over the supplies first before we get started on the project. One of the things I'm going to be using is this great stamp sheet, and it's just got some great, cute, fun images on it. I'm going to be using several stamps off of this stamp sheet, and they come unmounted, and you just cut around them and just apply them to an acrylic block to use them to stamp. Some other things I'm going to be using is the great Artpops products that Roben-Marie has in her shop, and in particular I'm going to be using the In the Garden series. I'm going to be using some of the cards, some of the sticker tape, some of the circle stickers. And I actually took colors off of these stickers and cards to inspire my background. So I picked some colors of paint to use to get my background started. And I picked 3 colors off of the stickers that I wanted to use. You can use any colors you have on hand. And I'm also going to be using Distress Stain from Tim Holtz, and it's called Picked Raspberry. And the paints are just acrylic paints. I'm also going to be using a couple of different ink pads, a black one from Ranger, and it's the Archival ink. Distress Oxide from Ranger, and it's in the Picked Raspberry. I'm going to be using a stencil from Stencil Girl to kind of create with the In the Garden theme that we're working with. You'll need maybe some gesso. This is optional if you want to gesso your page or whatever you're working on first. I am going to gesso my page, so I'm just using Liquitex gesso. It's one of my favorites. You'll need a glue stick or some sort of glue to stick down some collage work with the Artpop cards. You'll need a couple of paint brushes or something to apply paint to your page with, a cosmetic sponge to stencil with, and I just cut these up and use them to apply paint or ink through the stencil, a Stabilo all pencil in black, and I love this pencil, it's one of my favorite tools, a couple of different accent pens. You can use anything you have on hand. I'm going to be using the white paint pen from Delusions, a Jelly Roll gel pen in the pink, and I believe these are the Moonlight series of gel pens. I'm going to be using a chalk writer in very bright pink. You'll need a pair of scissors to cut out some things from your Artpops. And then I'm going to be working in my vintage ledger, which is my art journal, and it's one of my favorite things to work in. And you can work in anything you want to, any art journal you have on hand, or if you just want to work on a piece of paper, I suggest mixed media, heavier weight paper if you're going to be working on paper, or a canvas, just whatever you have on hand. So I hope you'll go gather your supplies up and come play along with me, and I will meet you back here to get started on the project. Okay, see you soon. Okay, I'm back and I've got my space set up, and I hope you've got your supplies gathered too. So I'm starting out, I went ahead and gessoed my art journal page, just because it is a vintage ledger. It just needs a little bit more stability on the page. And so that is pretty much dry, so I'm going to start on the gessoed page. I am starting with a couple of different colors, and my first one is this awesome lime green. And all I'm doing to get my background going is, you can tell I'm not even thinking about where I'm putting the paint. I am just starting to put it down. And where I kind of pulled those colors from, I knew I was going to be using the In the Garden Artpops, and so I wanted the colors to coordinate. Now they don't have to be exact, but I just pulled a few colors that were in the cards and the stickers already. So this lime green is one of them. And then my second color is going to be this Martha Stewart blue. I think it's called Beach Glass. And you can tell I don't wash my brushes out at this step. Now you certainly can, but I am not concerned about it getting mixed up. And the next color I'm going to use is this gray color from Liquitex. And I'm just going to use a little bit of it just to put a little bit of dark value on my page. Okay, so I've got a nice background started with the colors that I picked out from some of the colors in the Artpops. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the stickers, and I'm going to start adding a couple of them for just some color pops. Again, it just is a great way to kind of get your page going, and then you kind of can just play off of what you put on there from the Artpops onto your page and kind of make it your own. So I think I'm gonna put, I really like this one, and so all I'm gonna do is just stick it on my page, and I'm not really thinking too much about where or why. I'm just playing. Remember I talked about it's important to play, so don't think too hard about it. The whole point is to have fun. So I've got some color going on the page just by adding simple pieces of some of the Artpop stickers, and it just gives my page a little dimension, a pop of color, and another jumping off place from all of these little pieces of color that I stuck on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in a stencil. So this stencil is from Stencil Girl, and I love it. And I did say we were going to use the Distress Oxide. So all I'm doing with this is I'm dabbing a cosmetic sponge that I've kind of cut into pieces. And I'm just going to stencil some color. Let's see where you can see that. Kind of on down here on the bottom of the page. And I'm pulling in some of this pink from the Artpops. so I added a little more color with the stencil and the ink, and so now I'm going to take this cute little stamp. It is so cute, and she just kind of makes me smile. And I'm going to ink it up, and I have it on an acrylic block that I just put a piece of double-sided tape on just so the stamp would stick. And so she's inked up pretty good, and I think I'm going to put her right here. And I'm going to push down pretty hard, just because my art journal is kind of thick with the pages, and I want to make sure I get a decent impression. And I did not get a decent impression. And I'm going to make sure my stamp is inked up really good. And hopefully I can place her back where I had her the first time. Okay, so I have the cute little girl stamped, and she is not stamped perfectly, but I am not worried about that. And the only reason it didn't do a great impression was just because the bumpiness of my art journal. So we're going to fix that here in a little bit, but I'm going to move on to the next step and add another stamp from the same stamp sheet. And this is a little raindrop looking shape, and I'm using the Distress Oxide in the Picked Raspberry. Love this color. So I'm just going to add a few accents to the page with this pink and this stamp shape, and you can watch me while I work. So I've got some pink accents added on here. I think they look great, and I'm going to move on to the next thing. So I'm going to work on her body just a little bit, and my idea was to use the Artpop cards for her dress. So I'm going to just kind of go through these and see which ones I think will work. And so I'm just kind of testing them to see what they'll look like. And I think I like that one. So I am going to just freehand cut this out in the shape of a dress. And that looks really cute. I think I like that. Okay, so I'm going to work on her body a little bit. I'm going to speed it up because I'm just going to be gluing down the Artpop, and then I'm going to start working on some details. Now I'm going to start adding some details, and what I am going to do is use the sticker tape, and I'm going to actually make some little leggings for her. So I'm just going to cut into the sheet and cut out a small strip, and I'm going to kind of measure And then I'm going to cut them in half. And then I'm just going to make her some cute little leggings out of the stickers. How fun is that? So now it's time for a little bit of detail, and we're going to work on her face just a little bit and get the stamped image a little more clear. So what I'm going to do is take the Stabilo All pencil, and I'm just going to work on her face a little bit and kind of add some of this black back in. I'm also going to start adding detail and accents around her to make her pop off the page, along with adding probably some accents around some of these other elements. So I'm going to speed up the video just a little bit and let you watch me work. So one of the great things about the Stabilo All pencil is it is reactive with water. So just remember that when you're using it, because if you do get it wet, it's going to move on you. But I like that effect, and I work with it knowing that. So what I'm going to do now is I wet my brush, and so I'm going to just come in where I did all this highlighting and scribbling, and you notice I was not being perfect at all. I was just getting some marks down and trying to highlight and bring her, kind of pop her off the page. So you can just kind of go around where you use a Stabilo pencil and kind of turn it into watercolor and shadows, or you can use it just as is. You can leave it just, you know, a scribbly pencil look, which I like that look too. Okay, so I'm gonna stop that for a second. I'm probably gonna do a little more here in a minute, but I wanted to show you real quick how you can take the Artpops and actually play off of those. So for instance, this circle Artpop sticker here, and I'm gonna just take it, and so it was a flower, you can tell that, but I'm gonna take it and make it kind of my own thing and kind of make it like a sunshine. And you can see I'm just coming off the lines that are already there and just bringing those out and making that something just a little bit different. And I'm going to do a little scribbling around the edge of it. So just remember, you can play off of the Artpop images and kind of bring them out into your page, and that really just kind of layers everything together and gives the appearance that it's all one piece instead of just a sticker sticking on the page. So that's kind of how I bring all my layers together, and I'm going to keep working and let you watch me do that. Got my layers kind of melded together and kind of making them look all as one, and the girl kind of popped out. I'm going to start adding some more detail to her. And the fun thing about these stamps is you can use them as is, but you can also kind of make them your own and add new things to them. So I'm just going to add some details to her. And the first thing I'm going to do is take the Distress Stain in Picked Raspberry, and I'm going to use it kind of just like a paint. And I'm just dabbing it off on my palette, taking a brush and adding her some cheeks. Just going to continue to add some detail to her. She's going to have some little bright pink lips. I want to add just a little sentiment on this page, and I'm going to use the same stamp sheet that I showed you earlier, and I'm going to take this little word wish because it's super cute, and I'm just going to add it probably right here. Cute. So, and again, just like her face, I didn't get a perfect impression, but that's totally okay. And it's just because my page is really bumpy. And so you can just come back in and kind of add back in some of the shape or color. Okay, cute. So I'm going to just keep adding a little more detail with probably my Stabilo, the white Delusions paint pen, maybe a couple of other accents as well. I have this chalk marker that's in the bright pink that's kind of fun. So I'm going to keep adding some details and I'll let you watch me work. Alright, I think she's done and I'm super happy with her. So I wanted to point out the great thing about using the Artpops and the different stickers and cards is it's really just a great jumping off point to create. And it doesn't take a whole lot of thought, and it's all about playing and having fun and working with color and, you know, composition and just playing and practicing and creating something that just makes you smile. So my wish for you today is that you take some time out of your day or out of your week to sit down and just create for 10 minutes. It will make you happy. It's a great thing to do for yourself, and I hope you find some time to create this week. Thanks so much, and I will see you soon.